Forward. I'm calling on the cavalry to listen to this book. We need you. Black women and girls have been waiting for someone to stand up and protect us for half of a millennium. Reshona Landfair has been waiting a quarter of a century to be seen. In this brave and beautiful memoir, Reshona emerges as a dynamic and resilient adult to tell her story in her own words for the first time. She owes us nothing, but she has given us a gift. Reshona Landfair's name was not immediately familiar to me, although I vividly recalled the rampant innuendo unleashed sometime in 2002 by a widely circulated child sex abuse tape involving music superstar R. Kelly. I remembered nothing about the girl at its center. The details may elude me because I was grappling with my own escape from abuse in the music industry that same year. As a survivor of sexual violence, I made a point of avoiding any footage of the ubiquitous video. In spite of my best efforts, the incessant buzz about the material made it impossible for me to remain totally ignorant of its contents. Looking back now, I remember hearing about a fast girl, a porn star, or a sex slave who had been defiled in a number of ways by a man in his 30s. Not once did I hear this gravely imperiled teenager referred to as someone's daughter or as a child of God. No one expressed any interest in how she got there, or where she came from, or what happened to her after the camera stopped rolling. Why didn't anyone care? The answer to that question is arguably white supremacy's crowning achievement. Reshona's abuse and our callous indifference to it are heartbreaking installments in the long history of sexual exploitation inflicted on Black women and girls in America. Our casual acceptance of her undeniable suffering reflects centuries of grooming. After all, the institution of slavery was America's economic foundation and depended on the unmitigated rape of Black women and girls. In a society where Black people had no legal rights, there was no room for us to be horrified by their treatment, no opportunity to intervene. For 246 years, our collective psyche found a way to endure unrelenting brutality. So by the time the grown folks who should have rescued Reshona from R. Kelly saw her on that tape, they had been conditioned, along with all of us, not to give a damn. I know something about this. In late 2017, during the initial wave of the Me Too movement, I shared my experiences as a victim of sexual abuse in the music industry in an article in the New York Times. 3 years later, I appeared in a documentary called On the Record, exploring the double bind faced by Black female victims of Black perpetrators, as most violent crime, including rape, is intraracial. It was terrifying. The challenge of coming forward is exacerbated for Black women by the legacy of false allegations of sexual misconduct that have been weaponized against Black men and boys for centuries. Informed by this history, I intended to carry the secret of my abuse to my grave. Cases like Emmett Till and the Exonerated Five weighed heavily on my mind. I was also deterred from coming forward by the contempt with which Anita Hill's story of abuse had been received the year before I began my career in the music industry. Even without the additional layer of prejudices, reporting sexual abuse is daunting for survivors of all races and genders. The most obvious obstacle is the tremendous shame associated with the experience itself. Coming forward is further complicated by the fact that rape almost always takes place in the context of long-standing interpersonal relationships. In 2017, struck by the courage of women and some men who were bravely calling out abuse by titans in various industries, I decided to break my silence. As a wife at that time, and as a mother, I felt a responsibility to try to make the world safer for the next generation. As a Black survivor, it was also important to me that the Me Too movement included our voices. I naively believed that in response to our stories, a phalanx of esteemed leaders would step forward to insist that Black women deserved dignity, safety, and care. I was wrong. The cavalry for Black women never came. Black women, expected to be magic, are deprived of the compassion reserved for damsels in distress. So there is no manager or knight in shining armor we can call. Spurned by leaders in our own community, the survivors and on the record joined Reshona Landfair and Anita Hill on a bleak arc of history bending toward despair. But joy cometh in the morning. Reshona Landfair grew up. Reshona Landfair set herself free. Reshona Landfair has returned to tell her story. Her unflinchingly honest and deftly told account offers all of us an opportunity to take accountability for our role in her suffering. Hold space for her. Do not look away. We should be horrified. It is not too late for us to intervene, and we must intervene. For the sake of every victim, past and present, they still need you. Reshona still needs you. Black women and girls still need you. And I implore you to give a damn. Drew Dixon, October 5th, 2025.